Okay, now for part 2 of this little thing on serialization. So we have, let me just clean this. Oh yes. Yeah, I should have realized what I was saying before. This here interface class, this is, as the comment says here, we're already assuming that whatever the implementation of this interface is, it would have been what I call localized, meaning that it's already using TS string, for instance, right? So any contact with the outside world and so on and so forth would have been converted into local mallocs and local objects that we use in our project. So this here, we can be sure we could keep this function if we wanted to, but this will be a malloc pointer. Malloc using the same malloc that we use for TS string. So we don't need that one. I suppose one could put a comment, but it should follow pretty naturally from the fact that, how's TS string going to work? If there's no access to the correct malloc inside here. Okay, so that being the case, what I did was, see, I have a registry class in some of my other code, and I just kind of grabbed most of it and took away some stuff that you don't need. And it looks like this, okay, for the most part. Gets and puts. There's an exist thing, there's the delete that we want. Put D word is a special kind of put. Can't remember what's the difference. Well, it doesn't do anything special, does it? I guess we don't need that. It's just an alias for this function. Now there were some functions like get put, here's the one. Get D word with defaults. This is the kind of thing that never fails. If it fails to find the value in the registry, then it returns the default and sets the default. But the default's not written to the registry. Okay, but still returned if it's not found. I don't know why I didn't want to write it in, but that's that for some reason. Oh, I see. Probably because this is declared as cons. I see. Yeah, some of these const modifiers are not necessary for the functions that are being called. All they're meant to indicate is whether or not the registry is going to be modified by the function, not the object itself. The object only contains one piece of data, and that's a handle, type of handle value in Windows. I don't know what the help says. Like everything else, H wins, H global, H this, H that, H key. There's a registry handle. Yeah. registry. Using the registry. Where's the registry function? Okay, now here's where it all starts. Okay, registry overview here. So now the registry is this great big database that was introduced into Windows at version 3.1, where they switched from using any files to using this thing. And it's a database. It's a tree type thing. This is the section of the registry that is pertinent for the current logged on user. There's only really one user in my system. So these are defaults. These ones are always here. Forget what they are. This is me. The last 4 digits is your actual user number. Every user has a number, and this beginning bit if you added a new user, I think this beginning bit would be the same, and it would just increment this number. So you would find, for instance, this should be the same as current user classes, if I can find it. Okay, those should be the same. If I modified one, the other would get modified. And there's also a kind of a backup system. Yeah. Current config users. Here we go. Yeah, so there's a two-step backup for this control set, current control set. So if things go wrong, it can fall back on one of these two to recover. Anyway, it's a greatly complicated mess, made even worse by the invention of COM, which turned everything that used to be nice and simple, like, .text was a text file, and .doc was a something file. Now everything is this, see? A Microsoft Analysis Services Account, CLSID. Now that's class ID corresponds to one of these common object model classes. You can search now for these things and see what you come up with. Sometimes you can find interesting things by searching these CLS IDs. Maybe not that one in particular. Okay, that's probably the... Oh, no. Okay, now see here. Improc server. This all has to do with COM. These COM objects are called servers. and they usually have a at some point there's a DLL. Okay. Now here there's a class name. All right. Now you can create one of these COM classes, let's say of this particular type, using this. It's the definition of that. The implementation of that is in this DLL. You see how it all works? And now there's a whole bunch of other things which point to more of these objects, and it goes on and on and on. And look at them all. Look at all that. And what is it? You can't, you can't tell what it is. A firewall. How do I know that this is something to do with the firewall? And then app ID. What's that? How could this be an app ID? Anyway, I didn't want to get into that. So basically, that part's unusable for you just have to hope that the automatic stuff works. But the registry is simple enough on its own. You open and close a key, and then you read the values, query the key info. They take a lot of arguments, these functions, but they're not complicated ones. Well, maybe this one is a bit complicated. Here is something more understandable. Well, let's look at the ones that I use. And remember, I've taken a lot of stuff out of this. Now, I just invented this function, query. Now what all this does is call that reg query value EX, this one, with the H key that I already have, that's validated here, and a string value, that's the name of the key, okay, value name, maximum 255 characters. No, this always has to be no, it's reserved. Now the type, okay, and there are various types of data that can go in these keys. Software would be a good place to be. Not that. Oh, what's under Google? Okay, now here's the kinds of types. You can have strings. That's just these are all just strings. SSED means null terminated. These are obviously paths for something or other. Now this is a binary value, and so it lists. You can read it like that in the binary editor. D-word is D-word. And now there's always a default string value that doesn't have to be set. Okay, now there's another type that is like a list, but I don't know if I'll find one. It's a red. I can make one. It's hard to search any one of these. Oh well. Anyway, there's a thing where you can have like a list of strings, in one key. and it comes up when you double click on it as a list, with a list box with a bunch of values. And I forget if it's reg list or, well, it'll tell us in the help file. Predefined keys. Oh, those are key values, not types. Value types. Okay, binary keyword. Now, reg expand, as said, those are strings that have environment variables in them, like path, and you can call this function to expand them. I'll leave that out. Oh, here it is, multi-set. So an array of null-terminated strings. Never used this. Never used keyword or any of the others. Usually people use this regular string, or binary. Of course, you could use binary for a string, right? What's a string other than a list of bytes with a 0? Okay, so what do I use? Now, it turns out, I'll take the constructor first. I actually did a little fixing first. Takes two strings, subkey and the base. So you sort of read this backwards. This is like the root namespace, and this is the subkey. So this would be like in the header file. Software, Alan Carr Inc. debug, and then this would be my program. Okay, and then now I'm making two of our type of string things, deciding whether or not these are null to be an empty string or not. Now I'm missing one function from this string class that I should add. But anyway, replacing forward slashes with backslashes, and then I'm trimming off the backslashes from either side for the base, terminate with a backslash. So that just has the effect of making sure that there's no slash at the front. I hope that's right. And there's a slash at the end, and the substring has no slashes. And then, base plus sub. I think that's correct. I have to try. Well, actually, let's try it here in main. So, because I just put this in, comment this away for now. The constructor again takes, well, there's an empty one, or we can give a string and accept the root namespace. So let's just put any string. Dummy reg key. Now this is a key name. Now just like that, if the program just quits, it should create that, I think. And it should be Since we're filing under debug, it'll be under software Alan Carr Inc. debug at dummy reg key. There's nothing there now because I just changed it to Alan Carr Inc. and there are no Alan Carr Incs. This is software. Close that. I'll run the program. Refresh. Here, Alan Carr Inc. debug a dummy reg key with nothing set. So now if I wanted to add a value, let's say put, now I gotta give a name. So now this one just doesn't use the type in the function name. So if I want a D word, I gotta supply D word argument. Well, 23 should be interpreted as D word. I'm going to word claim. Let's see what happens. Well, it didn't seem to work. Let's see. I thought that might be the case. I gotta change all these. Or actually, but luckily it's all in the function. Right. Query succeeded, and it got not exist. And it should return, okay, size. That should be alright. Now let's see. First I'm just going to run it without thinking. See what happens. Okay, that's not good. Oh. Exists calls this. Can't do that. I don't know what it is in the other one. That might. No, the key should be okay. No. That exists. I'm not sure what the return value is if it doesn't exist. Return value. Okay. Temp. Mhm. No format message from the. This is one way of getting into the system. Okay, at least if it fails, so we'll see the reason. Cannot find the file. So that sounds like it just doesn't exist, right? So we just return false. So we'll just return. All right. And I can really reduce this because I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't care. Now what's it going to do? Okay. All right. Either doesn't exist, or I have to create. Reg set val undeclared identifier. Whoops. I thought this transcription would have been easier, but I did add that function. Okay, so it worked. Now I should be able to add a string value. Same problem. I hope delete doesn't fail. It's going to fail if it doesn't exist. I should just make that a bool. Call that function a million times. Alright. Okay, so that one's a string. Now I just have to do the same. Let me just fix this up for us. Okay, I think everything's set up. Now I can also do binary. I changed it. I have my own buffer strings, but I changed it to be more like what we want. Let's say 150 bytes. There we go. Fill it in with some random numbers. Put it in the registry. Right. No problem. There you go. So now that's a reg binary. Lots of random garbage in it. And I should be able to read these all back. So we did the 1K. Do you ever not initialize something here? Because, it's just something that drives me. If I ever see this, I just immediately get mad. And I've written it down sometimes too. I'm going to use the macro. I'll do that part later. Okay, then we need a string. I'm going as fast as I can. And the last one, change these to keywords. The carriage returned into the one. Do it. Maybe 75 times carriage return. And oh, I should put the number too. More carriage returns. How about that? Well, then we have to free that thing. Well, let me not free it, so we'll see if we get a memory here. This is quite long, isn't it? So it should put us in here. It did. 23. That would be the same string. Maybe I should change that. 150. So it worked. Now I run through it, and we got a memory leak. First, let's look at the answers. Okay, that looks good. That's not doing enough carriage returning. I want that. And I want to free PV at the end. No memory leak. Now, why doesn't that work out right? Oh, way less than that. How about 10? One, two, three, 6. There we go. So, yeah. Now, if those are the actual, well, we can check here. FA, FA, 2D, 2B, and so on. So the registry supports all of the functions that we require in order to implement this. We can set binaries, get binaries, set and retrieve strings and D words. Connect, it's just going to return true. Oh, and we haven't tried deleting a value. Let's see if that works. Which one do we want to delete? About the string, because I don't like that string. Should have a better value. I usually do that with the strings because it's too much hassle to do it. Alright, so now we just need to add another argument. We should delete some strings. Nothing printed out. We'll go back to 2. And only the D word, no string. And we could try also seeing it. Delete the binary one. I think you can guess that works. I turned off the confirmation for the run when the when I set it to run, it doesn't ask me anymore if I want to recompile first, and I'd like it to keep asking me. But anyway, that's my problem. Now I've used up all my time, but I've shown you the registry works. Okay, so now the plan is to take this and it's pretty simple, you can imagine. Here we've got an interface that has to do these things, and here we've got our reg, right, which does similar things, just with different names. So all we got to do is put them together and make this create instance return a special type that implements these functions using the registry. Now I could also, in my spare time, come up with another implementation. I have on my machine. Well, you don't know it. It's gone from here. I used to have something that said www here. Now I wonder where that hell is gone. Oh dear. Where did I put it? Could be on, oh, it is on C. Yeah, here it is. You see this? This is this is an internet server. When WAMP, it's like an Apache server, and on this server there's an SQL database, and I still am having trouble trying to figure out how to enter things in. But you know, I could try and make a version that uses an SQL database for setting and getting. And I've also learned about some of this HTML5 and JavaScript and stuff. And there's a way to save and retrieve data pretty transparently on the internet nowadays. So lots of different things to try. But at least I'll do the registry one next video. So I'll see you then.